always thought love arrives quietly, like morning light through half-drawn curtains, like the whisper of wind in autumn leaves. But that day, it crashed into my life like thunder on a clear sky. Sudden, blinding, and so loud I didn't immediately recognize it for what it was. My name is Alice. I'm 28. I live in Brooklyn and work as a graphic designer at an agency where dreams are labeled non-target audience and feelings are dismissed as emotional excess. I have a cat named Luna who sleeps on the windowsill and watches the world with such calmness it seems she knows all its secrets. And me? I'd long stopped believing you could truly meet someone in this city, especially yourself. But everything changed on that rainy October day. I was late. Not just 5 minutes late, but truly, desperately late, with a racing heart, tangled thoughts, and chaos in my chest. My train was leaving in 7 minutes, and I was still in line for a ticket, hair-soaked, clutching a bag that held only a notebook and a half-finished cup of coffee. People hurried around me, yet I felt as alone as a lighthouse in the middle of the ocean. And then he approached.
"Excuse me,"
He said, his voice so gentle it seemed to touch not my ears, but my soul.
"how do I get to Manhattan?"
I turned, and the world stopped. He stood before me as if he'd stepped straight out of my most secret dreams. Tall, with slightly tousled chestnut hair, wearing a white shirt stained with traces of paint. His eyes weren't just eyes. They were an entire universe. I couldn't look away. "There," I stammered. "Platform 3. The train leaves in 5 minutes."
Thank you.
He smiled, and in that smile was something familiar, as if we'd met before. Not in this life, perhaps, but in another. Simpler, pure one. But I didn't stop. Didn't ask his name, didn't say, "Wait," because my train was leaving, and I'd been afraid of being late for work, for appointments, for my own life, for far too long. I ran. My heart pounded, as if trying to leap out of my chest and chase after him. I burst into the carriage at the very last second. The door slammed shut with a hollow thud, and in that instant, I saw him. He was running alongside the train. In his hands, a bouquet of white roses. His face was tense, his eyes filled with desperation and something deeper. Hope? Love? I couldn't tell. But when he shouted something, I didn't hear the words, only felt my heart split in two. He stopped, lifted one rose and threw it forward. The flower landed right beneath the wheels of the departing train. I pressed my palm against the window. "I've been searching for you all my life," my mind whispered, and I believed it. After that day, I was no longer the same. I walked the streets of New York as if through the pages of an unfinished book. Every passerby with a similar gait made my heart skip. Every man in a white shirt made me turn around. I bought white roses and placed them by the window, though I'd never liked flowers before. I started writing, first in a notebook, then in imaginary letters to him. If you're reading this, know this, I haven't forgotten. I just didn't know how to find you. But I'm searching, not for you, for myself. Because maybe to find you, I first need to become the person you were looking for. My friends would say, "Alice, it was just a fleeting moment. You're romanticizing a coincidence." But I knew it wasn't a coincidence. Paulo Coelho wrote that when you truly desire something, the whole universe conspires to help you achieve it. But no one tells you that sometimes the universe gives you a chance, just for a heartbeat, and you must be ready to seize it. And I let it slip away. I suffered not from longing, but from the crushing realization that I might have missed my destiny. That in this vast city where millions pass each other every day, I'd met the one. and didn't stop. 2 months passed. One morning in a damp November, I awoke with the quiet certainty that today mattered, not because anything was supposed to happen, just because I felt it. I got dressed, brewed coffee, stroked Luna, and stepped outside. A fine, cold rain fell, the kind that seeps beneath your skin. I didn't know where I was going. I just walked. And there, on the doorstep of my building, stood a man in a worn-out coat, holding an umbrella that clearly wasn't doing its job. He looked like a character from an old film, tired, but with kind eyes.
Miss Alice?
He asked. I nodded, wary.
My name is Arthur.
I nodded, wary.
I'm a private investigator. I was hired by the man who's been searching for you all his life.
I nodded, wary.
Alive?
And he knew you'd step outside today. He said, she'll come out when she understands that love isn't chance, it's a choice. I didn't cry, didn't laugh. I just stood in the rain, feeling something inside me click back into place. We met on the rooftop of an old building in Chelsea, the kind of place where the city opens up before you like a confession. He stood at the edge back to the river, and when I approached, he turned.
I knew you'd come back. Not because I believed in fate.
But I believed in you. And if I hadn't left the house, I would have waited. Tomorrow. And the day after. Until you heard your heart's call. We fell silent. The rain began again, softly, but neither of us moved. What's your name? I finally asked. Lucas. And how did you know I'd come out today? He smiled, that same smile I'd memorized from our first glance. Because I felt you. From that very moment on the platform, you looked at me, and in your eyes I saw my own reflection. Not perfect, not heroic, just a man who's also searching. And I knew it was you. But you didn't stop me. Because you had to leave. To understand that you wanted to come back. Love isn't held onto, it's chosen. And you chose. I cried then, not with tears, but with a quiet release of everything my soul had carried for months. I thought we weren't meant to be together. Destiny isn't something given, it's something you create. And we're only just beginning. Years have passed since then. We live in a small apartment overlooking the park. We adopted a second cat. Her name is Rosa. Lucas paints and I design his exhibitions. Sometimes in the evenings we go to the station and watch the trains depart. And every time I see someone running after a train, I smile. Because I know if your heart says stop, stop. Even if you're late. Even if the whole world demands you keep moving forward. Because sometimes a train doesn't leave to take you away from love. It leaves so you can realize that true love is the one you're willing to return to. And if you believe in it, it will always find a way back to you. The end. But for us, it's only the beginning.